Alright. Hey there, everybody. It's been a while since I made a video last. I know, it's just that I've been kind of busy and I haven't really had a chance to make a video in a while. But I do now, and so today I'd like to share with you a game that I've been playing recently called Poe. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Poe? I don't know. I'll just be calling it Poe. But what this game is it is a 3D platformer, collectathon type of game that obviously gets its influence from games like Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, that kind of stuff. And it's been really, really fun so far. It's pretty simplistic, but then again, it's a Unity game, and it is, of course, if you look in the bottom right-hand corner, it is an early access. So some things aren't quite as good as they are, but so far from what I played, it's just absolutely amazing, and I really like it for the most part. I know that there's games like A Hat in Time, which is hoping to do the 3D platforming genre justice. But in the meantime, and then also, of course, how can you forget Yooka-Laylee? But all those games are coming out later in the year. Poe is available to play right now. And even though it is an early access, there's still a lot you can do in the game. So let's go ahead and start. And let me show you how the game is. Alright, so this is the game. This is the game's overworld. Overworld. Alright, so yeah, you can definitely tell I haven't been making videos in a long time, simply because I just can't talk most of the time. First of all, I gotta commentate about the absolutely amazing music in this hub world. It's just so good. Every single time you come back to it, I'm almost blown away by how great this music is. It kind of reminds me of the music that plays in The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, because every time you get in the boat in that game, it never gets old. Just like this game, this music just never gets old. So, but this is the hub world. Everything kind of you can get to from the sky. But you may be thinking, oh, this is just like Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Well, yeah, it is. But I'd also wager that this is a lot better than Skyward Sword, because the islands actually have stuff to do on them, and not just like one or two things. So every island is pretty cool. You kind of unlock new islands, or new islands start to appear as you progress in the game. So this is pretty awesome. Plus, it's not like a huge amount of area. It's a pretty tight and closed space. So you're just not really a whole chance of you getting lost. As you can also tell, it turns from day to night, and the way to actually get around this area is by jumping off. And you have a little parachute that you can kind of fly around in. Now, since this is a modern game, I don't know why they didn't go for the whole wingsuit, because the whole wingsuit thing seems to be the most popular sort of thing to do. You know, every game's got to have a wingsuit in it, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that you get to fly around in a parachute. Flying around is really easy, because all you gotta do is you move forward automatically and you just go up and down, and you can kind of increase your speed. Sometimes clouds will block your view, but it's not so bad because they move out of the way pretty easily. So what a lot of these islands are, they're most of them are challenge areas, as in that's a place where you can go to fight mobs. This is an area where you can view all your fossils you can collect, and of course, fossils are one of the many collectibles you can get in this game. And when you complete and you find all the fossils in the area, you can come here and actually look at them. This little ring in the middle, that is a flying course, and actually, you know what? I'll probably show you around all these little areas in a bit. But for now, let's actually go and I'll show you how the levels are. The levels are actually are actually accessed through your main SIP right here. You actually have to turn the SIP physically to one of the areas in the background, and you line up with the little light beam, and you kind of steer the SIP where you want to go. When you send on the compass, and you hit OK. And of course, if this doesn't look familiar to you, then I don't know what's wrong with you, because this is definitely reminiscent of Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine. So we'll just go here, and I'll just kind of show you the beginning world here. So as you can see from the background, we have a lighthouse, we have little ropes, we have water, a little harbor area. This is very this first level is very kind of reminiscent of. I know I keep saying that word, but you know what I mean. It takes a lot of its influence, if I should say. It takes a lot of its influence from, I think, Super Mario Sunshine. Because obviously, because it's because you can walk on these tight ropes, and you can kind of jump on them and stuff. So I mean, if that's not taking influence from Mario Sunshine, then I don't know what it is. It's quite clearly Sunshine thing. But the controls in this game I found have been really tight and really nicely to control. And here's the thing: is that it definitely has Mario 64 influence, just because you can do this. You can do a triple jump. So I mean, already that's pretty cool. There's not really a huge reason if you want to do triple jump, because you can also double jump in the air. Which is pretty nifty for for precise platforming and stuff. Although I've never really had any so far require precise platforming. But you know, I'm sure later on in the game they'll have you do more tougher challenges. But I mean, so far this is just the first world. As you can see, what I just did is there's wall jumping. Of course, wall jumping is pretty good in this game. You can't wall jump up the same wall twice, so obviously you can't wall jump, double jump, and then keep wall jumping up. So they at least had that in mind. Be able to grab on edges. Wall jumping is really nice and easy. And there is... oh my god. I kind of hate how this Steam big picture thing is with my controller, but we'll just ignore that for now. So there's a form of a long jump in this game, and instead of like ducking and jumping like that, you actually have to roll. And at the end of your roll, if you jump, you get a little bit of extra distance so you can double jump from, which is pretty nice if you want to go really far. You can roll, you can run. The controls are generally really nice. Of course, the camera is really great too, most of the time. Most of the time, it's really good. The only times I've had trouble with the camera is with the little sliding sections. Like sometimes there are places where you need to slide. There are like little mini stages where there's a slide, and the camera there has been kind of janky. I noticed that it's freezing a little bit, but that's probably just because I'm recording it right now. Because playing it normally without recording, it's ran perfectly fine for me. So a solid 60 FPS, really not a big deal. But it is quite nice. Oops. Well, this is just the first world, you know. It has a little starting area that's pretty small. And and like halfway through collecting medals, you can explore this outside area as well. There's lots of, it's not a huge area, but it's enough for a first world, you know. It's enough for you to explore for your first level. So then we have a second level that I just completed. And that is Mount Magma. This is obviously the fire world. And I guess what I should say, just in case you haven't figured it out, is that instead of collecting stars, you're collecting medals. One of my complaints about the game is that it doesn't really have a story. The story that they give you is 2 kids run away. Yeah, these are little, these are inhabitants of the mountain. But the story that they give you is that 2 kids, 1 adventure. So they just run away and they have an adventure. That's it. And so what you're doing is you're collecting these medals for an old man who's lost and thought the world. And that's the story. Not really the greatest of stories, obviously, but I don't know if that's going to change. And even if it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if my dog can shut up! Okay. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, the game doesn't really have that great of a story. It's just, oh, these kids decide they want an adventure. So they go out and have an adventure, and that's it. The second level is actually pretty good. Parts of it are kind of tough, considering that you have to deal with lava a lot of the times. But this place is pretty cool because they give you little ruins to kind of play around in. Practice your wall jumping, your platforming. Sorry, I had to go poop in my dog's food to set him up or something. Yeah, so this is a pretty nice place. They give you a chance to practice your platforming, wall jumps. It's really nice. And of course, for the final level, they give you this platforming challenge to get to the top of the volcano. Enemies are pretty easy so far. All they are is just they just kind of run at you and you just kind of jump on them. But so far the game looks really nice, and it really is reminiscent of Mario 64 in a lot of ways. You definitely see the influence it has on this. The triple jumps, the enemies. You know, enemies don't really play that big a role in these things. It's mainly just the platforming. There are lots of little challenges in each level for you to try to complete. For example, okay, this guy is kind of giving me a little bit of trouble. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to try to judge the distance that you have to jump on an enemy, but usually it's not really too bad. What I was saying is that each level kind of has its own little set of challenges and things to find in it. Like I've already shown you the fossils. Fossils are something that you find in each level, and if you find all of them, then you get a medallion. Simple as that. You can actually look on your book right here, and it actually tells you. It kind of tells you your stats, as in it tells you how many medals you have to go in a particular world. There are gears that you have to collect, and of course each gear, every 5 gears that you find gives you a medal from one person in the sky, so that's another collectible. There's a camera to document enemies that you find, and here's a here's the fossils right over here. That kind of tells you. I think every world has they have 8 fossils to find, so that's pretty cool. Every 8 fossils you get a medallion. And then of course, here this is a pretty unique thing that I haven't seen before, and that is locations. There's actually you actually kind of fill these in by just exploring the world. As in, you'll just be walking around, and you'll be like, oh, you discovered this. Oh, you discovered the summit path. You discovered dead end, and that kind of stuff. And from here, you can actually see that they actually give you the names of the places to discover, so that it kind of helps you where you need to go or where to find them. As you can see from there, I still had an indecipherable book to find in this level, but I don't know where that is. I do not know where that is at all, and I've been trying to kind of find it, but I haven't had any luck. So if I jump down there, there's a bucket boss down there, but I don't really feel like fighting him, so I'm just gonna jump off. No fall damage or anything. This is pretty nice. I feel like there should be fall damage, considering that you're just playing as kids or something. Or maybe you could like open up a parachute or something and stop fall damage, not just you can fall from a top of a volcano and be perfectly fine. But I don't know. I guess so far there's no fall damage. It's pretty funny. And that's basically it for about this place. Let's go and let's go to the sky.